All right. This is weird as shit. I don't do this. So, I have cameras in my eyes. Somebody stuck something in my vocal cord. Pretty sure. And I got stuck something in my brain all while sleeping. Definitely, probably wasn't in a hospital. So, there's these things on the internet called brain-computer interface and brain-machine interface, where you can basically hook your body to a machine, your brain to a machine, and have you controlling the computer screen, right, with the mouse, with just your mind. Somebody definitely heisted some kind of company, right? I'm pretty sure it was, a company that stores these things together at a distribution company, right? So several different companies use the same distribution company. When they do this, you end up having the same devices linked up. Or he was able to, or she was able, or this group, pretty much D-Wave or one of these other like left-wing organizations, right? They basically got something that goes in your throat. It's a speaker and a microphone, right? The thing in your brain can be basically like telepathic. You can communicate from person to person using your brain, but only if you can talk in your fucking brain, right? But there are definitely controls to it, right? So these people that heisted this company, probably like ex-military, but they're definitely like Antifa, BLM, D-Wave type people. So they heisted this company and got all these devices and stuck them in me. I'm pretty sure my ex-wife's friend came to Virginia after leaving New York and started selling these things, right? I spotted her in a box truck and this guy in a box truck with her, right? This like mixed dude or like black dude or whatever. And it's this big ghetto white chick, right? So they come to Virginia and she starts like coming by the house and stuff. And I'm noticing this shit, right? And a comment was made by somebody saying that she sells devices, right? So I'm thinking, what the fuck? Because I already know from watching TV live when Biden was doing like his press run for the run up to presidential debates and all that. He was on the news and I spotted this motherfucker being able to talk without anybody hearing it. You could tell he was talking to somebody, right? Somebody was feeding him information on how to present his speech. And you can tell because he wasn't looking at the paper constantly, like usually a lot of people do, especially older dudes, especially fucking Biden's retarded ass. So I'm gonna do a fucking word, but Biden's a fucking idiot. And he wasn't looking at the paper. He kept looking straight and talking, and he was talking very precise, like not like he usually does, or like he used to do 30 fucking years ago. Even then, he's a fucking idiot. Well, you could tell something was going on, so I start paying more attention to it, right? And you started hearing other like I didn't even call them right-wing news organizations, even though they kind of are, but underground independent news people, right? Like Steven Crowder, shit like that. They started mentioning it. And my ex-wife was with me when I seen it. And I flat out fucking told her when I seen this shit live what the fuck was going on. So I started getting hip to some of this shit. So I'm trying to tell her to stay away from certain people. And this chick starts coming around. And I never liked her because she's fucking loose as a motherfucker. I don't mean like fast as a woman. I mean like loose as like she'll fucking do anything for a fucking dollar type person. Like you can tell she's just like, I ain't trying to add this shit in my life, right? So, next thing you know, she leaves and goes back to New York because she gets fired from her job again. She comes back again with this same shit going on. Next thing you fucking know, me and my ex was planning to have a baby. She ends up having a baby. The baby comes out not mine, right? But I don't figure this out for like 6 months, right? After I'm already raising the kid, I'm a stay-at-home dad. She goes back to fucking work. Yo.
You gonna join us downstairs?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right.
So she goes back to work, right? Next thing you know, I started telling something was going on. She said she has postpartum depression. So she goes back to work. Once she goes back to work, I start hearing things, right? Not just like hearing things. I'm hearing straight up voices, like people talking to me. And it starts off not so bad at first, and I could tell they watching me through my eyeballs, right? Because everywhere I look, I'm thinking there's cameras in my house. Because everywhere I look, they calling it out. They tell me stop looking at the ground, pick your head up, stuff like that. And my initial response, I start talking inside my body, right? Because there's people around. I'm like, what the fuck is this, I just did it, right? You have an internal monologue and you talk within your body, right? You call it under breath. But really, under breath is what the fuck. You know what I mean? So somebody hears it, but they don't hear it. It's passive-aggressive talk. So start calling out underbreath. It's like, bro, what the fuck? So I'm wondering what's going on. So they keep calling shit out as I'm looking at it. And I got a young kid. I'm not staring at the fucking ground. I'm like looking for shit to pick up. So they start like fucking with me, clowning me over it, right? So what the fuck is this? So next thing you know, I start noticing people can hear the inside of my body when I talk, right? And I don't really do this, only when I read and shit, right? So I'm start wondering what the fuck's going on. So I instantly start suspecting her, even though I don't want to. And like we start having a conversation. I'm trying to talk to her about like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're not hearing what I'm hearing right now? And she's like, no, I don't fucking hear nothing. I'm like, it's people fucking talking. She's like, oh, you tripping. So I'm like, whatever. So next thing you know, man, it just gets bad. Like, people just keep talking, right? So we go to have sex one night, and I'm like, yo, stop fucking watching me. Stop talking to me, right? And dude's like, please don't do this. It's my sister. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't have sex right now. I'm like, well, just stop fucking watching and talking to me. Because I'm having fucking sex, right? So we have sex. And one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, people just rotate. I'm thinking it's different people, but what I started realizing was they can synthesize voices, right? They can mimic voices. If you go online, there's this thing called deep voice, where you can actually take somebody's voice, not just their voice, right? Their speech pattern, how they cadence their words, how they pronunciate, how they speak, and exactly what they sound like, right? So they start doing that inside my fucking head. And not just like in my head, like you can tell it's inside your fucking brain, right? So I start thinking like, what the fuck is happening to me, right? Instead of getting online, I started just thinking about it. So now I've realized there has to be a way they put it in your body without opening your head. You know what I mean? Because I ain't had no scars on my head. They went inside my skull, right? There's no other way to do it. And I started researching. They took it offline at this point, but you start researching, you see these different types of devices. They can pop your eyeball out and put this little fucking computer chip on it, right? So that's probably how they got the cameras in there, or it comes through the brain. I'm pretty sure it's this device that goes in the artery in your brain. Because there's no other way every part of your brain can communicate at the same time, right? But I don't know, I start hearing like stop picturing stuff, right? So like in your mind's eye, you think of shit. Well, I've always done it. Apparently I have an eidetic memory, so I can like visually see things like clear, right? I dream in perfect, clear fucking color, right? So they start saying they can see what I'm picturing. Every time I would try to do it, they would exactly call it out. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I start thinking how they do this shit, right? So I ended up pretty much finding what it is, but I ain't got no way to do it. Well, then people start saying they feeling what I'm feeling, right? Not just like, oh, I feel you. You know what I mean? No, like I can poke myself in the leg and somebody says something about me poking myself in the leg, right? It's crazy. Well, I got to go. I got some shit going on, but, you know,